Hello everyone and greetings in 2018, folks. This is my first video in 2018, and if you've read the title of this video, you know I want to talk about, it's going to be one of these videos where I just talk about tips and advice for small YouTubers. And I'll tell you what really prompted me to start this off. YouTube and its community have started off YouTube for a bang. If you guys don't know, there's a certain individual, certain high-profile YouTube individual who is part of a very big controversy. I'm not going to go into all the details on that. If you haven't seen it, you can probably you'll probably find out through social media somehow if you're very active on here on YouTube. A lot of people have been talking about it, and that individual pretty much went beyond their limits, even for someone of their stature, and it's a pretty high stature in my opinion. They went beyond what that they could get away with, essentially, or I believe they thought they could get away with, and I guess they might have just been testing the waters, or I don't know, and it's looking pretty bad for them right now. I don't know what's gonna become of this ultimately, but they ultimately made the wrong decision and they went far beyond their limits. And that's kind of what prompted me to talk about this today. It doesn't have so much to do with the incident or the individual. It just kind of, brought something up in my mind that I wanted to start off 2018 with you folks. What does understanding your limits mean as a small independent YouTuber? Someone like me, someone who is doing all the recording, who is doing all the editing and all the PR and the promoting, if you want to call what I do on social media, promoting, all this stuff. Basically, running the channel on your own. And this can stem from creators, with a few hundred subscribers like myself, or in the few thousands and to the tens of thousands. There are plenty of small independent creators who are doing this by themselves. And there are even some very well-made, very well-established YouTubers who it may seem like they're doing this by themselves, but they actually have a whole team behind them. You may only see them in their videos. They may be the only people that appear in their videos, and you're like, wow, it seems like, this guy's doing really well for doing by themselves. But you got to understand, with people who are very well established, who can afford a payroll of people, they can afford a PR team, they can afford researchers, videographers, editors, the whole 9 yards. The top-notch YouTubers, they all have a team of people, or at least a group of people, helping them out with their videos. I won't say everyone, but I'll say the mass majority. There's an exception to every rule. When you're at a level of where I'm at, or where if you're just starting out and you're just starting to grow and you're just now making that push and you're making a little bit of money, like these are the people that I'm addressing here today. Because they're the ones who are in this boat of doing all of this by themselves, putting in all the hard work, and because they simply can't, they most likely have a 9-to-5 job like, I do, except it's not 9 to 5 for me, but you get the point. And, they have a job outside of YouTube. They have life outside of YouTube. And for the most part, doing YouTube is 100% them. They may have a friend, hold the camera or something, and in some instances, but other than that, it's all them. And what you have to do is you can have a bunch of ideas that you want to get done, that you see in your mind. You're like, okay, I could see this getting done. I could see this getting done here. But key thing about being an independent YouTuber, and I've discovered this now after being a YouTuber, a small content creator for over a year now, is that you have to understand limits. And it sounds, I guess you could call this the sister or the cousin video to the understanding your workload as a YouTuber, because this kind of relates to that. And understanding your limits means understanding what you can do by yourself. Your mind may say two different things at the same time. It may seem that, hey, I got all this up here. This is all, I've mapped it all out. It could all work out perfectly. But then once you get to it, the other side of your brain might be saying, hey, why did you do this? You don't have the personnel, or you didn't plan this right. And that's what I'm talking about today. And what I mean is, you have to be ready for limitations, because we all have, every content creator, every human being has limitations. And the sooner you recognize what your limitations are based off anything, any amount of things that could be going on in your life, the better and the sooner that you'll be able to help yourself create the content that you want to get out to your people. Because if you understand that you cannot create everything that pops into your mind because you may not have the resources yet, then you will save yourself a lot of time and a lot of trouble starting something and being like, you know what, I can't finish it because I didn't think this through. I don't have the time. I don't have the resources or whatever. And it's important to realize that. It's important to get that fact. And it's important to understand that so that you can better yourself. Now, folks, I want you guys to understand, when I say limitations, I'm not talking about, oh, like, you know what, I think this would take too long. This seems like, you know, it'd be reaching that point. I'm not saying don't attempt it. I'm saying to understand it. Because for me, I know I have limitations. For me, the person that I am, you know, the part-time, you know, college student, well, not the part-time college student, but the full-time college student, and the, you know, the part-time YouTuber and working, I understand and I have goals to break beyond my limitations, but I have to understand them first. I have to understand that I only have certain time to do this. And if I want to do a certain type of video, I have to understand that there are limitations on that in order to make that video. Because it doesn't matter who you are. Like I said, you have limitations, and you're going to have a time in your life where you have to realize that. And to be honest, that's not just only with YouTube. That's with every facet of life. That you know you have limitations, and you have to realize that in order to pretty much move forward. And so realizing your limitations and realizing that, hey, that this is gonna, you know, take a while, then you can start to build towards to go past them. Because I realize I have my own limitations as an independent YouTuber and everything. And honestly, I know some of my limitations. You know, I'm recording gameplay for you guys like on, you know, a broken down PS4 and a laptop that's quite outdated. It's 2012, and there's certain things I can't do. You know I can't do 1080p 60 frames per second because I just don't have the resources. And, you know, that's just an example, you know. And I'll give you guys a better example than that. Say you have something in your mind. You have this elaborate sketch in your mind. You're like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm gonna play all the characters. I don't need any actors. I'm going to do this. It's going to have crazy edits. That's fine. And before you go blabbering this to your fan base or whatever, and before you go telling everybody, make sure that you realize in your mind that, okay, I've said I'm going to do this, and that's fine. But let me realize the limitations on it. And what I mean by that is, if you're pretty much talking about a comedy skit or something like that, you know, something that's going to take some time, let's just use that for an example. Make sure that you understand that it is going to take time. Don't go blabbering to your base like, yeah, I'm going to have this out in 2 days because I already know what I'm going to do. Because let me tell you guys, you know, being independent and making something on that large a scale, if it's even a 3 to 5 minute video, it's going to take you some time. You have to get all the shots. You have to do all the editing. You have to do everything because you are by yourself. And if you realize that, that's fine. But don't misinterpret what you're saying to yourself and then get to it and you're like, wow, I made, you know, promise that I was going to get this done in 2 days, and hell, this is going to take me 2 weeks. And that's what I mean. It all comes back to realizing your limitations and to understanding yourself as an individual before you go and promise something, or before you go and start on something. If you realize what you can't do, then you can focus on what you can do. You don't have to focus on what you can do. You don't be, man, it sucks that I can't do this. Don't focus on any of that. Realize that it is what it is, that it's just a part of your life right now, and focus on what you can do, and then build up from that. If you're someone who has 1,000 subscribers or something like that, and you're like, man, like I wish I could do this, then go out with the best product that you can, with the limitations that you can, and put out that video. And then if it's good, if it's your all, people will notice. People will know that you're putting out your best effort, and you'll grow, and hopefully one day you'll be able to afford, that better camera that you want, or afford that better gaming computer that you want, or whatever it is. And that's how you play the game. I guess I'll say it like that. You realize your limitations, and you can focus on what you can do instead of focusing on what you can't do. Because if you focus on the positive here, then you will get positive things done. If you ignore the negatives and you focus on the negatives, then you're probably going to be just going in circles. So just realize your limitations, realize what you can get away with, and what you can put out there, and make sure that what you can put out there is the best effort that you can put out. Because that's, I would assume, the goal of all YouTubers who are trying to grow is you want to put your best effort out. And it's okay if you can't put out as much as you can. That time will come. Just bide your time, grind, and the world is open for you. So that's it, folks. That's what I'm starting off with. I'm gonna stop yammering about this. I hope you guys get the point I was trying to make with this. Is just that everybody has limitations. It's okay that you have limitations, because you're no different than anybody else. You see a top YouTuber out there, you don't think they want to do more? You don't think these YouTubers out here are like, man, I want to make more of this, I want to do more crazy things? Because everybody does. And, one day you build up and you get to that point. There are top YouTubers who are still grinding and like, man, I want to do even more stuff. And you would, if they don't talk about it, you would never know. But that doesn't mean that they're not working on it. And they're working on it because they know their limitations. And because they know their limitations, they can focus on what they got now. And so they can build up to surpass those limitations. So that is it, folks. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. What do you guys think of this video? Would you like to see more of these types of videos throughout 2018? Because I sure as heck like talking about these types of subjects and helping out fellow small YouTubers, understand things out there. So just let me know in the comment section below. Hope you guys are off to a wonderful 2018, folks. There should be a video up this Friday of gameplay. I've got to go through, I'm at the process now, which a lot of people are deleting all my 2017 videos off of my freaking computer, because, it's just that time. I've got a lot of stuff saved from 2017 that I'm never going to view again or go over, because 2017 is over, it's done with. And so I'm in the process of doing that, but regardless, there should still be a video up on Friday of gameplay of some sort. So I will see you guys then. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to watch another one of my videos. If you liked it, make sure you hit that like button. If you're new here and you liked it, make sure you like it and maybe give a little subscribe too. Help a play out. So that is it, folks. I will see you all in the next video. Until then, I'm Demetrius Mac, and I'm out. Peace.